Hi, I'm Frank LaRosa, a board member with the Morton Golf Foundation, and Morton Golf Foundation is a huge supporter of junior golf. And many of our junior golfers will come to us with questions. What is it like after my junior career? What are the chances of me becoming a professional golfer? And as we all know, like most sports, it's very slim. We're going to talk about what some of the alternatives might be, or really what the opportunities are if someone does want to become a professional golfer. Mr. Mike Woods, PGA Director of Golf at the Haggin Oaks Golf Complex, is here. And Sean Woods, PGA, is the Pro Shop Manager at the Haggin Oaks Golf Complex as well. Gentlemen, what is a PGM program, first of all, and what would that mean to a junior coming to a college and wanting to pursue a career?
Yeah, PGM stands for Professional Golf Management, and I believe there's 18 colleges in the country that offer this degree. Specialization on a degree such as business administration or hospitality and tourism or agriculture. And that allows the student to do their PGA work and accreditation in conjunction with their time in college.
So in effect, like your major was art or something else, there certainly is a college degree attached as well.
Absolutely. I have a degree in business administration with a specialization in PGA Golf Management.
And where'd you go to school?
New Mexico State.
Yeah. And that's one of 18 colleges in the United States, is that what you said?
Yes.
Yeah. As Sean's dad and one already in the golf business, what did it mean to you that your son wanted to pursue this career, and did you have any trepidation about that?
Yeah, so, kind of a dream for me, Frank. I think with all young people, doing something that you're passionate about and something that you love is just really important in life. Not everybody gets that opportunity. I've certainly had that opportunity, and Sean's in love with the game and in love with the industry, especially not so much when he was really young, but when he was 15, 16, 17, really started to get passionate about golf. When he decided that he wanted a career in golf, I couldn't be more excited.
So Sean, when you had this notion that this is something you wanted to pursue, did you have any thoughts about where this will lead, or did you kind of figure you get into the program and learn as you go?
Learn as I go.
Yeah.
I think my initial thought was to go more of the teaching and coaching route, which I have done at other jobs and liked. My goal is to keep moving up at Haggin Oaks or for Morton Golf. I think my passion now is, to run golf courses and facilities, and that's the great part with this industry is there's so many different paths. You don't have to stick to one.
Yeah, you certainly had the opportunity to do some internships as well, and how other courses are run, across the country, and that kind of knowledge, I suppose, is really good as you pursue your own career.
Yeah, I can talk about them if you like a little bit. I mean,
Sure.
I worked at a resort in Idaho. Two friends that I worked with there, one of them is now the head pro, and the other one is, I believe, the first assistant there, and we all were from New Mexico State.
Wow.
My second internship was at a country club in New Jersey. Totally different experience. I lived in the upstairs in the pro shop. I caddied all summer. I worked outside, a great experience. And then my final one was at the Meadow Club in Marin County, where I worked more as an assistant in the shop. I stayed there for a couple of years after and taught a fair amount, and ran the junior program and did some merchandising in the shop. And so it was a well-rounded couple of years.
You've accomplished a lot in really just a very short period of time.
Yeah.
So if a junior came to you, a 15-year-old, and said, Sean, I'm good enough, I want to play on tour, but I don't know how to make this all happen, what kind of advice would you give them?
Yeah, that's a good question. When you're in the PGA program, I think my buddies and I played 6 or 7 days a week. So if you go down the route of being in the industry, you still have the option, and you're going to be pushed to play a ton, which is great. In my experience, after college, there's still tons of PGA section events. Northern California happens to be one of the top sections in the country for just a variety of events, and we have multiple tournaments a year where if you play well enough and win, you can qualify to play in the PGA Championship or Fortinet Open at Silverado. The path is still there if you want to keep working on your game and move up to that level. This just might be a good other plan if you're looking to get into the industry.
Sure. Mike, as a parent, certainly a proud parent of your son, there are other parents out there that would say possibly, I'm going to send my kid to school to go play 4 or 5 times a week, or what is he going to learn? What is he going to become? How do you, counsel a parent in that regard?
I went to Cal State University, Sacramento, and got my 4-year business degree there. And I played intercollegiate golf there, and I really enjoyed that experience. And the reality is Sean has the exact same degree that I do. Okay, with this focus in professional golf management. Sean was one of those young people who loved to play and really wanted to play at a high level. I mean, he was a lot like a lot of the kids that we have within our program now that are really excited about it, competing and playing and wanting to play at a high level. In Sean's case, he got admitted to 4 of the different PGM colleges that he applied to, but he picked New Mexico State because they have this very strong playing program there. Not only is he totally committed to college and to learning and to getting his business degree and learning about all facets of the golf industry, but he got to play golf and compete every week. And that was really exciting for him. He enjoyed every minute of it. And, the reality is when you get your business degree, maybe the golf industry isn't the right thing for the young person. He has a 4-year business degree. He can do all kinds of stuff with that. It doesn't really pigeonhole you into only this path and you maybe wasted 4 years of college. It's not designed that way at all. I think it gives the young person a lot of flexibility to do whatever they'd like to do within the industry or maybe outside of the industry.
That's got to be very comforting to the parents as well, to know that, there are other avenues, that, it's not just you're going to be in the golf industry for the rest of your life. Certainly tuition and housing and all those other things that anybody considers when going to college are questions that parents would have. How can you counsel them there?
Like any college that you're looking at, especially going out of state, because there's none of these PGM colleges are in California, which is really a shame, but that's just the way it is right now. So out-of-state college tuition is something that can be challenging for sure. In the case of New Mexico State, they're part of what's called the WUI program, and they offer this wonderful in-state tuition to kids from California. And so it makes college far more affordable. And then there's all kinds of opportunities for a young person to earn scholarships. There's scholarships with the Morton Golf Foundation. There's scholarships with the First Tee, there's scholarships with Youth on Course, there's scholarships with a bunch of other organizations locally and regionally. And there's also scholarships from New Mexico State on your 2nd year and your 3rd year. So there's definitely opportunities to help with college tuition and to help make it more affordable for kids.
Well, we've tried to provide a little bit of information for both juniors and parents, and there's no way we can cover all their questions, and maybe there's some that I haven't even asked you. So, Sean, I'll just give you an opportunity to give me any final thoughts that I may have missed.
Yeah, like every program, I made tons of friends and I have colleagues that see the rest of my life. I think one advantage is someone that's really into golf architecture and just, the love of the game. I now have friends that live across the country that work at public courses, private courses, resorts. And I think every person in the PGM program at every school has this experience where you want to go on a golf trip or you just have a big network.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Mike, anything to add?
Yeah, so as a parent, I really just wanted to see Sean move towards whatever he wants to do in life. I think that's why our kids go to college, so they can grow and they can expand and they can learn and they can find out what they think is going to make them happy and what their direction is and how they can add value to society. We found the choice of which college to be kind of challenging, because there's some wonderful colleges, UNLV and Clemson, and again, there's about 18 schools. But we had the most comfort at New Mexico State. The teachers, the PGA members that run that program, we just had a really comfortable feel with them.
And they were excellent.
They were excellent. They're real experts in the industry. For me as a parent, I just really wanted to see Sean be happy. This seemed like the best path for him. It was also really comforting to hear that their summer internship program all over the country and outside of the country, that they have close to 100% placement in that. Students, when they graduate, they have close to 100% placement in jobs. Yeah. And what industry has that and what major has that? And golf is really in a great place right now. But when Sean went to college, golf was far more depressed in 2018 and 19, and they still had 100% placement back in those days where golf wasn't as popular. So what they're doing is really working, and that brought a lot of comfort as well. Yeah, we couldn't be happier of that direction. I think one of the other questions that I get asked periodically is, my son or daughter really wants to play intercollegiate golf like I did. And can they do that and also be in the PGM program at the school? And many of the colleges offer that. Yeah. So that's just part of the conversation with the college, that I'm an intercollegiate golfer and I'm working towards playing golf for a living, but I'm going to do this major of professional golf management. and this is going to be my backup plan if I can't play for a living. Every young person should have that plan when they go to college. They're going to college, they maybe have the idea of playing golf for a living, but they need to put a lot of attention into what their degree is going to be in to set them up for the future. I have this conversation a lot with young people that if you are lucky enough to be that 1 or 2% that play golf for a living, that would be great. You know, as humans, we're living into our 80s right now, and your career, if you did that, might end in your 40s. What are you going to do for the next 40 years? And hopefully you get a degree and you learn something that you're passionate about that you can do if playing doesn't work out, or if you age out at some point and then you want to go do something else. I'm a big proponent of picking something that you love and something you're passionate about.
You know, my best piece of advice for parents would be specific on which degree type you pick. I mentioned earlier that the different colleges can offer different degrees. For example, I believe UNLV offers the hospitality and tourism with their PGA program, and I think Penn State offers the agriculture degree with the PGM program, and so New Mexico State offered the business program. So my whole experience was in the College of Business, which I think for me made it more realistic if I were to ever do something outside the golf industry. And then the last thing is, especially if you're from Sacramento, be specific with which climate you pick. Going to a desert school or something in the southeast, you're going to play a lot of golf. If you go to some of the northern schools, you're going to have snow for 6 months of your playing season. Yeah. So that's my best advice.
That might be the best advice. Mike Woods, PGA, Sean Woods, PGA, thank you so much. I'm excited. Can I go back to college? We hope that we've answered some of your questions, and we're sure you have more. So both Sean Woods and Mike Woods are available for answers if you have specific questions, or you can just contact us through the Morton Golf Foundation.